It all comes down to today. After 222 rounds spanning 54 events, the conclusion of the RSM Classic will put a bow on another PGA Tour season. Ludvig Åberg had the 54-hole lead, but had plenty of pursuers right behind him, including Sam Ryder. Steve Sands pleased to be alongside Johnson Wagner, and here is Sam hitting his second at 5.
Perfect position from the center of the fairway, and Stevie just jars it. Actually blew the hole out enough the rule staff had to come out and change the hole location by a couple feet.
What a shot. Mackenzie Hughes hitting his second from off the green at the 3rd.
Showing a lot of confidence with his chipping skills, not taking the putter out.
Oh, they were going in from everywhere. Now the leader, Åberg, 24 years of age. How will he handle the Sunday pressure? Birdie at 4.
Played a really smart shot to the center of the green and paid off with a beautiful long putt.
Got off to a great start by birdieing the first as well. Tyler Duncan has good vibes on this golf course. Here's a birdie putt at the 5th.
Past champion of this event. This tournament seems to get that putter heated up for him every year.
Yeah, the 2019 version was Duncan's. Back to the leader. How about this tee shot at the 5th?
Had to wait for all the commotion with the group in front. Sam Ryder blowing the hole out and just hits an absolute laser right at the green. 317 yards in the air, holding the surface for the second time of the week.
We were watching it live about a half hour ago. You were just shaking your head here in the booth. You couldn't believe it. He would 2-putt for another birdie, and that lead was starting to climb. And then he went to the 6th tee and did this.
Downwind, perfect number. Nice full swing, getting a lot of spin on this to stop it close. Well, why not?
That is a 4th birdie for Åberg in 6 holes. But Tyler Duncan's not going away. Here he is for birdie at 7 at the par 5. Okay. He's trying to keep pace, trying to keep Åberg in his sights. As we go live out to the 7th, and the leader, Ludvig Åberg. 4-shot lead now. He began with a 1-shot cushion. Here's his second at the par 5.
308 yards off the tee, just down the middle of the fairway. Ooh, great break skipping out of the dunesy area there. That's going to leave a bit of an awkward angle for his 3rd.
So are we on the cusp of witnessing Ludvig's signature victory in his young career, or will someone chase him down? Let's find out together. NBC Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the FedEx Cup Fall. From Sea Island Golf Club on St. Simons Island, Georgia, it's live final round coverage of the RSM Classic. The curtain comes down on another PGA Tour season at the conclusion of play today, and what a backdrop. Sea Island Golf Club on the Golden Isles. The week started with rain, wind, knit caps. It ends with beautiful blue skies and a gentle breeze. The defense of this golf course for the best in the world is that wind. Without it yesterday, we almost saw a 59. And with these ideal conditions on this Sunday, combined with a soft course due to that early week rain and a 4th straight round of preferred lies, expect more low scores again today. As you take a look at the leaderboard, that lead has gone to 4. That 1-shot cushion that Ludvig had overnight, his first ever 54-hole lead or co-lead on the PGA Tour. He's the only player in the field yet to make a bogey this week. A couple of champions right behind him here, 2016 and 19, Mackenzie Hughes and Tyler Duncan. Again, Steve Sands and Johnson Wagner. Jim Gallagher Jr. will call holes for us. Billy Ray Brown, Smiley Kaufman down on the golf course. And Todd Lewis will handle all the interviews and any news that comes our way throughout this final round. And there is Ludvig Åberg, and he is a worldwide figure in this game. He comes from Sweden, and back home, Johnson, the headlines are all about Åberg trying to win a PGA Tour event for the very first time. We're not going to ask you to translate. We're going to switch it and flip the script. There you go. He continues to lead, chasing his first ever PGA Tour victory. It's a big, big spot for this kid.
Well, in the way he started out, he has let everybody in that final group know that he means business, and somebody's going to have to do something special to catch him today, because he has not made a bogey all week and is really showing no signs to do so.
Yeah, he had a 54-hole lead on the DP World Tour at Wentworth, the signature event on that tour. Didn't go well for him, 4 over par on that Sunday. Maybe that was a learning experience for him.
And he's learned quickly throughout his short professional career. He seems to rectify any mistakes that he has immediately. So it's good to see him getting off to a hot start today. And I mean, he's looking really tough.
We have double coverage in this final group today with Ludvig, Eric Cole, and Mackenzie Hughes. Smiley Kaufman is down there. So is Billy Ray Brown. And Billy Ray, you watched him at Texas Tech. You've been following him throughout his young PGA Tour career. This could be a huge day for this young man.
I mean, he knows that situation is in his grasp right now, but it's going to depend on if he takes it just one shot at a time. We hear that that phrase so much, but certainly you can't put your hands on the trophy at this point right now. But no surprise he's in this position. Watching him all 4 years at Texas Tech under head coach Greg Sands, and he is a special talent. Now this third shot coming out of the primary cut of rough, not much green to work with. He's going to try to bump it into the slope there, and it kills it.
A little bit more evidence as to the soft conditions. That golf ball would not stay there normally, but with these soft conditions, he's going to have a shot closer to the green than he would have had if it was dry out there. Look down on the golf course. And now the third shot upcoming for Mackenzie Hughes, who, as we said, was the winner here in 2016. And Smiley Kaufman, you're down there.
I sure am, Steve, and he definitely was watching Ludvig's shot here. Very similar, sitting down. He actually went from looked like his 60 degree to about a 56, back in his stance, going to definitely drive it into the hill.
Nice. A little more pace to it.
Yeah, he learned from that one definitely there, Johnson.
Certainly did. That's a nice spot to putt from behind that hole as well.
As we go to the 8th, Tyler Duncan, fresh off that birdie.
Getting aggressive with driver, going to try to carry that bunker. It's about 275 to cover the one down the right side. Sets up a much easier second shot.
Just missed the fairway, but that's not going to hurt him at all. How much more difficult is that shot that Åberg just tried to hit when the conditions are a little bit wet as opposed to dry?
Right, and the way that green sits, it kind of runs away from the player, so he didn't want to take the risk of flying it onto the green and not holding it very close. From where he is now, ball in hand, this is actually a really makeable chip shot.
Billy Ray, you've done this so many years. You've seen so many kids try to win for the first time. Your observations right now as to his demeanor in the early stages of this final round?
He was basically picking up where he left off yesterday, but his demeanor has not changed whatsoever here. And he's sticking to his routine. Now this little pitch, he's fantastic around the greens, and he shows off that talent right there. That was an easy play coming off that shoulder, but to your point, it's no surprise he's in the position right now. His demeanor, I've seen it through his career, will not change whatsoever.
Let's take another look at this one from behind. Just great interaction with the turf. Didn't pull putter out. He's got a 4-shot lead. I think a lot of players would take the easy route. Just shows how much confidence he has and how calm he is.
He would tap, and the lead remains at 4. Stay here now for Eric Cole, and Eric has had such a terrific 2023 season. Perhaps today was going to be the day, Smiley, but it's been a rough front 9 for him thus far.
Yeah, 2 bogeys on the front 9, Steve, and definitely been stuck in neutral. Hit a 3-wood into a tree. They luckily got through and hit a wedge shot that spun back to this point. Needs a birdie to get it going.
Sitting there at 2 over par for the day. Ludvig's 4 under. Got to feel like he's spinning in a circle right now.
Perhaps the race for the Arnold Palmer Award, the PGA Tour Rookie of the Year, is on the line today between these two. So we'll talk about that as the day wears on. Let's go to 9 and say good afternoon to Jim Gallagher.
Hello, Steve. McCarthy. Out for birdie at 9. Nice read there. He's sneaking up there as well. That gets him to 18 under 31.
Let's check in on the defending champion, Adam Svensson. He's at 14.
The
This hole going to play much harder today, back into a little more breeze in a back hole location all the way up on this shelf. That is spectacular, leaving it under the hole. Great look.
Back to 7.
Yeah, Mackenzie Hughes now for birdie.
Yeah, I thought Mackenzie described yesterday's round perfectly. It was a subplot in the tournament trying to shoot 59 on a Saturday. And he has been rolling it great this week, Jim.
Sure has. Another good putt there. Took advantage of the par 5. And move within 3. He knows how to get it done.
All right, let's take a deep dive into the Sea Island Golf Club. 2 courses here, the Plantation and Seaside played the first couple of days, but the last 2 days right here at Seaside.
And Tom Fazio came in back in the late 90s and just did a tremendous work to really make the bunkers really steep and dramatic, makes the green complexes look smaller than they are. Lots of runoffs. The Tiff Eagle Bermuda grass is some of the best these players see all year on tour. Not a long course, but when the wind picks up, it can be plenty challenging. Brandon Veal, director of golf, has done a wonderful job at this location for quite some time.
And considering the weather the last couple of weeks, and especially earlier this week, golf courses, both of them, Seaside especially, in fantastic condition. Congratulations to everybody there at the Seaside Golf Club. As we look at Duncan now, just off the fairway at the 8th.
Whole location tucked way back on that back left edge. Cannot go long. That's a nice aggressive play, giving himself another chance for birdie.
Let's take a look at the 8th hole. What do you see here, Johnson?
Well, players most of the time will just lay up short of both of these fairway bunkers. We saw Tyler Duncan pull out the driver about 280 yards to take the right bunker out of play. And with the soft conditions, I don't mind it, leaving yourself a little shorter shot into this very difficult back location. This green has a steep runoff off the back edge and over to the back left side. So accuracy is important coming in here with the short wedge.
Beautiful look from high above to steal Smiley Kaufman's line from yesterday with these conditions and the golf course being a little bit soft. It's like a dartboard for these players. We saw a 60 yesterday, 61, 62. Who knows how low they'll go this afternoon. We're on the tee at 8 with Mackenzie.
Yeah, Johnson, Mackenzie Hughes with driver out. I love that play to that back hole location, especially if you want to drive something in, but still hit the fairway first and foremost. The fairways are soft, those bunkers. Really the left one's in play with driver. That wind's trying to push it a little right.
And that's a perfect location in the right side of the fairway. Has a great angle, can play a number of different shots from there.
Here's a great look. The tee just kind of dangling right off of that marsh. And Ludvig now with an iron.
Yeah, doing the same thing that he did yesterday, Johnson. Laying up short of that bunker on the right-hand side. He has certainly formatted a game plan how to attack this golf course and sticking to his guns, that's for sure.
Now, whatever he's doing, Billy Ray, it is working. A 1-shot lead has now turned into a 3-shot cushion. Glad to have you with us on Golf Channel. Today's coverage is brought to you by RSM, the leading professional services firm for middle market leaders. By FedEx, where now meets next. And by Chrome Soft from Callaway. Better for the best, better for everyone. And aerial coverage provided by GoldenIsles.com. What a special place. Glad the weather has cooperated over the weekend. It was a tough start for those guys out there, but it is a beautiful place, and when the weather is right, it's as good as anywhere.
70s, sunny, and a slight breeze. Sounds pretty perfect to me.
As we go back out to the course now, Duncan trying to get to 21 under.
A little bit of an awkward read, has a tendency to go left at the end.
There we go. Another man reaches 21. You better have your foot on the gas today if you expect to catch Åberg at the top. At 14, we saw that approach from Adam Svensson.
A really nice defense of his title from last year and keeping it going with the birdie on one of the hardest holes today.
Look, you did it 3 times. It's not easy to go back there. People think, oh, it's great. There's a lot going on when you're a defending champion.
Always have more commitments.
At the 11th, Peter Quest now for birdie. He's a special temporary membership. He's at 16 under. This to get the minus 17. He's in the top 10. Needs a 3 or 4 to get that full membership. Nice putt there. 10 wins in college.
And Ludvig Åberg, 24 years of age. Sweden to Texas Tech. PGA TOUR University, #1. Ended up getting his PGA Tour card. What a great initiative that has become for collegiate players. And then fast forward to September of 2023. This is all in this year's time span. He gets a win on the DP World Tour. And then he gets selected by Luke Dahl to be part of the Ryder Cup team for Europe and plays well, earning 2 points, 3 top 10s. What'd you say? He's missed 1 cut as a professional?
1 cut as a professional. All 3 of those. He's only played. This is his 11th event on the PGA Tour this year. 1 missed cut. It's ridiculous. I mean, look, he's projected to get inside the next 10 in 11 starts. Just really phenomenal what he's been able to do.
It should, right? It should do, yes. I mean, wind's going this way, so, yeah, okay. Like that.
And wind out of a little different direction today, Johnson. Yesterday it was out of the northwest, today out of the northeast today. 126 there for Ludvig. Trying to fit it in that back portion of the green. You got to watch out for spin here.
And that's a nice conservative play. No reason to take that flag on all the way back there. Let your putter do your work.
It's going to be interesting to see with this lead that he has right now. If he goes into a mode where he's just playing defensive golf, we'll see how that unfolds here in the next few holes.
I just think with that back hole location, there's just no need to take that flag on right now for him.
Smiley, Eric Cole's on the left side of the fairway.
Yes, absolutely. 99 yards, close to a similar number he had on the last hole as well with a similar wind. But Johnson, Eric Cole needs to be aiming at flag 6 right now to try to chase down Ludvig.
He certainly doesn't have the luxury to play conservative now.
Yeah, well done.
Yep, nice shot there for Eric. We talked about that race for the Arnold Palmer Award Rookie of the Year on the PGA Tour. As you take a look at the 2 front runners, Åberg on your left, Eric Cole on your right, the age difference is the thing that's most staggering, the difference between the two, and perhaps the starts as well. But these 2 guys are deserving, and if one of them wins today, they probably tip the scale.
Probably for me, you would have to go with a win. There's only been two other rookies win this year on tour, and that's Vincent Norman and Nico Echevarria in Puerto Rico. So I think if Ludvig gets the W, you've got to give him the nod with what he's been able to do in 11 events.
And Jim, it's really the only way Eric Cole won't win.
Yeah, he's had an incredible year. Speaking of good years, Ben Cole's come off the Korn Ferry Tour Player of the Year. Currently 17 under. That's tied for 6th. That might get him to 18. I'm not going to give it to him, but pretty much can.
Now McKenzie hitting his 2nd at 8.
Oh, he's in a great spot here, Steve. 76 yards off a downslope. He can carry it all the way back there.
Oh, and he does. Beauty. Attack mode for these guys. To 9.
Yep. Duncan over here on the far right side here on the par 4. 4 under on his round today. Playing some great golf course. Former champ here. Drives it fairly straight, so I expect this to be in the fairway. And it is. Nicely done there. Over to 10.
Denny McCarthy hitting his 2nd shot. Another good week for Denny.
Another difficult back flag, playing back into the wind. Really tough to get this one back there. That is going to be a very popular spot putting back up the hill. Cannot go long.
Let's drop back to 8. And Ludvig. It's interesting, Billy Ray, you were talking about, do you go into defense mode? It seems a touch early for that. It's only a 3-shot lead, but you never know how it's all going to play out.
Well, anytime you're trying to win your first PGA Tour event, sometimes your brain will go to a space where you're not accustomed to, and we'll just see how he handles it here in these next 4 or 5 holes. Now, this birdie putt that he has just left of the hole, primarily back uphill. That first part of the putt is back into the green, and that last quarter of the putt will go down green just a bit.
Yeah, and Steve, there's just going to be the right opportunity to get aggressive. I'm not saying he needs to put on the brakes, but to certain hole locations, there's no point in him taking the risk.
Well, that was an aggressive putt there, Johnson.
Yeah, those aren't the kind of putts you really want when you've got a lead on a Sunday.
Hey, they're at the 7th. JJ Spawn. Right there at 61 projected, trying to get in that next 10. See if he can fly this up here and then spin it. Oh, he does. Nicely done, JJ. Good chance for birdie here.
Now the FedEx Cup fall, it's been a terrific 7 weeks. Entering this FedEx Cup fall, you know about the top 50 in the signature events, and the top 70 will get you into those full field events and the players. But boy, Johnson, there's a lot going on with the next 10. If you're 51 to 60, get yourself into the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am and the Genesis Invitational. It could change your entire 2024.
It could, with the elevated points, the elevated purses. It's a huge advantage to get these starts, and all these guys are clamoring for those positions.
Sam Ryder right now is in that coveted 60th and last spot. And then you have the top 125, which I know warms your heart that number is still a massive one in this sport.
Well, it's been a crucial number on the PGA Tour for decades, and Ryan Moore, with the way he's played these last 2 weeks, is playing himself right in there. He needs to finish off his round well, but positioned to move in.
Fully exempt, also into the players. It's a huge deal to be in the top 125 after today, Jim.
Well, look how close those points are. Every point means something. That's a nice birdie for JJ Spawn, and that will help him now as well. Back over to 8.
Kenzie Hughes with a little one here, Smiley. What a second shot that was.
Yeah, and to cut it to 2 shots too. That's just a birdie and a bogey on 1 hole. So he is knocking down the door. This guy's gone 49 straight holes without a bogey. Johnson, he is playing some good golf.
Yes, he is another one of these guys. Past champions tend to play really well here at Seaside.
And he's coming off a career low 60 yesterday, tying his career low. Now that putt you said, Billy Ray, that you really don't want to have on a Sunday when you're trying to hold off the field.
It's one of those situations here, and to see if he starts making these with confidence like he did there, he'll continue to be aggressive with the putting.
His mood seemingly never changes out there. It is amazing to watch at such a young age. RSM Birdies for Love. The current standings, these are the birdies throughout the FedEx Cup fall. Luke List has a 5 birdie lead over Eric Cole and Vince Whaley. The winner will receive $300,000 for the charity of their choice. Davis Love, RSM, they do a fabulous job with the giving portion of this event.
That was Mackenzie Hughes here at the 9th. He's going to love that one. Well played here. Well, let's take a look at the 9th hole. 458 yards. You see the bunker on the left, trying to navigate away from that. Play it out there to the right. It's 314 to carry, but most of the players aren't going to try to mess with that. Get it out here right about there in that little narrow part. But today the hole location's on that back right portion of the green. And the right side kind of falls away. So probably most of the players trying to keep it maybe a little bit left there, but be aware of being long for sure. Over here now on the tee. He's only missed 8 fairways all week, 2 today. He's been driving the ball incredible.
Yeah, wind helping here from left to right off the 9th. Ample room to put the ball in the fairway.
He does just this. I think for him, when he won the DP World Tour event, he was from behind. He stayed aggressive. It's too early to maybe play defensive, but his strength is decision making. He's been making some great decisions, that's for sure. Right, Duncan now here at the 9th. 4 under on his round today. He's 21 under. Good chance for birdie here.
Putting back up the hill. He's had putts on 8. Whenever he's had the chance to put up the hill, he's been aggressive. He's been pouring them in the middle, Jim.
Well, as you mentioned, a former champion here. You feel like you know the greens. They become you know, second nature for you. And I think he's playing with freedom this week. And I think that's a big part of his success this week. It's anybody's success is when you can play with freedom. That's the toughest challenge for most of these guys. It's got to go. We'll tap that in, and he'll stay at 21 under par, 4 under on the round today.
Putt, huh? Yeah, not the one I wanted to fucking lead.
Back at the 9th hole, been 11 birdies here so far today. It looks like Mackenzie Hughes will be next to play.
Yeah, this is a fairly easy hole location in the back right part of this green. Fits perfectly with the wind direction, which is equal of down and off of the left. 151 yards, hanging lie. Everything to this shot seems pretty standard to me.
Trying to bring it in from left to right. All right.
Yeah, below the hole right here.
Yep.
That's a great shot.
It is. That's a slow putt. We've seen Tyler Duncan have a very similar line, so pretty straight, so pretty straightforward. All right, Eric Cole, the fairway bunker.
Yeah, it was close to catching that side of the fairway and took a kind of a nasty bounce. Up near the lip, kind of rolled back a little bit. Shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. About the same distance as well as Mackenzie Hughes at about 151 yards. I'd say a pretty good angle too, though, Jim.
Yeah, a couple drives have got away from him today, but this should be too difficult from right here. The lip shouldn't be any problem.
Oh, great contact on a nice line as well.
Excellent play. Another good opportunity for birdie. So well played out of that fairway bunker. Use that upper body, big muscles nicely there. Well done. All right, Åberg now, second shot.
Yeah, coming off the upslope here, Jim. 135 pitching wedge here. Bringing this ball in very high and also on a decent line.
Okay, pin high once again. Another good shot. It's inside 15 feet. It seems like just about every hole. Up 1 to 10.
Tyler Duncan is on the tee. Gentle right to left hole shape.
Need to avoid the fairway bunker down the right-hand side. That is tracking on a beautiful line.
Called nature. Ryan Moore, second shot at 11.
Right to left wind with the left hole location, Jim. This is a gettable hole here on the back 9.
Beautiful shot, playing his way inside that top 125 this week. Playing some great golf. Found something. Both putting and ball striking's working. Mexico, ball striking was good, putting was terrible. But this week, both parts of his game are solid. And there's a great look down at the 9th hole. Got some great views. Beautiful day here at the RSM Classic.
Let's go back to 2016 and Mackenzie Hughes here at the RSM Classic. First ever PGA Tour victory in his sights. Oh, our man Mark Russell down there. We're going to play some golf, even if it's a little dark out there. Close with a 69, 17 under, 265 for Mackenzie. He has added another victory in his career, but that was the first one. The other one came a year ago at the Sanderson Farms in Jackson, Mississippi. Mackenzie trying for win number 3 today. And by the way, give himself a push into 2024 with the President's Cup at Royal Montreal. How special would it be for a Canadian to play for Mike Weir next fall?
It would be incredible, and he was really close to making the team last year at Quail Hollow. Kind of used that as motivation to get off to such a hot start last fall.
And you play a lot of golf with him back home in Charlotte. He is not only a fabulous player, he's a wonderful guy.
Oh, he's great to have a game with, and I'm just very impressed by his work ethic. He's always out there putting the time in. Ball striking's kind of let him down most of this season, but this week he has found it.
But he's right there, Jim.
It is this to get within 1.
Yeah, up the hill, maybe a little left to right.
Oh, is that any good? You know, we always talk about following up a great round with another one, but it has not slowed him down. Maybe a little motivated, felt like he should have shot 59, but great start here on the front.
Well, that 4-shot lead went away quickly. Down to 1,
very fast. That's why you got to stay aggressive. I mean, when we talked about, you know, you have to, about Åberg being in a defense mode. I think you just have to stay aggressive. But Johnson's point, you don't go back at some of these pins, but or flag sticks. But when you look at where, you know, this guy's going, these guys are going, BR, you've got to be aggressive, and you got to kind of stay in that same mode. Texted Greg Sands, his coach at Texas Tech. I said, has he always been this calm? Speaking of Åberg, he said yes. And once again, he just calmly knocks that one in. Any questions?
Solid as a rock there, Jim.
Wow, 30. 25 under, 2-shot lead.
you get a week back, Smiley? Got a week back?
Sir, can you keep those signs down, please? Thank you.
Final group has made the turn. Mackenzie Hughes, now 2 shots back of the lead, has the tee.
Yeah, that wind is off of the right here, and he keeps the tee box 3 birdies in a row. And he's got this driver on a string today, guys.
See just how soft the conditions still are. A lot of mud picking up on the ball. That's why they're playing lift clean in place for the 4th straight day.
You know the rules officials do not want that. The guys out there don't want it either, but when it calls for it and it's necessary, you have to do it.
And with crosswinds you get on this golf course, nobody wants to see tour players playing mud balls all day long. Except for maybe me.
You like that, Billy Ray, huh?
I do.
Åberg's turn. 30 on the front 9. Take a look at the tracer by TrackMan.
And I'll tell you, it's a bullet up the left-hand side, right out of the center of the club face.
Swing is incredibly repeatable. I love his setup.
Has only missed 8 fairways all week as you look at the 10th, this par 4, Johnson.
Yeah, playing with a pretty easy wind in and off the right-hand side. Fits the shape of the hole. Slight bend to the left. A lot of players lay back with a 3-wood to keep it out of this bunker, but the guys are being aggressive with the soft conditions, pushing it up there with driver, back hole location. It is a brutal up and down from over the back of the screen, so plan on seeing a lot of guys putting up the ridge.
Speaking of putting up the ridge, Tyler Duncan trying to hang around 4 back.
Just a little bit of left to right in this one. He's been putting beautifully from this range the previous 2 days. Just got to keep your pace up. That's 2 holes in a row now. We've seen him just run out of a little bit of steam up the hill. Certainly don't want to start crushing him by the hole, but sitting at 4 back. Got to stay aggressive.
Let's go up to 16. Montgomery has made a lot of putts this season, and he makes another one there. Strong week from Montgomery, the man from Las Vegas.
Great moments in golf on NBC.
And there it is, a W for Tiger Woods for the first time in more than 2 years.
In total, Tiger has won 5 Hero World Challenges. All of his proceeds go to his foundation, the TGR Foundation. And the big news of the week yesterday came from Tiger himself. The tournament host has committed to play in the Hero World Challenge. We'll have it for you here on Golf Channel and Peacock beginning Thursday, November 30th. Can't wait to get to Albany and the Bahamas. And then over on NBC, Golf Channel, and Peacock on the weekend as well. The Hero World Challenge will include Tiger Woods in about a week and a half. That'll be his first start since the Masters.
Yeah, and he looked pretty good walking. He was caddying for his son in a big junior event, and he walked 4 straight days. Said he was tired, but he managed to get around.
By the way, speaking of Charlie, kudos to Charlie and the guys from the Benjamin School down in Jupiter. They won a state championship earlier this week. Tiger was there on site here in the state of Florida. A state championship in this state means a lot, considering how great the golf is. And Tiger never did that in California growing up. He never had the opportunity to do it because they didn't have it back then. So that means that Charlie has actually done something in this sport that his father never did.
Yeah, at an earlier age, keep setting those records.
I mean, man, oh man. Smiley, we're looking at Eric Cole. You can't say that often when you've done something that Tiger has not in the great game.
Oh, absolutely. And it's Tiger Woods being back is music to all of our ears.
And by the way, communicated with Tiger earlier in the week, and he said, so proud of his son. He and his teammates earned it. Good for them.
Eric Cole's going to try to drive one back to this tough little hole location here at 10.
There's that spot you were talking about. So popular, Johnson.
You just, with that wind, you have to take the extra club and bring on over the green, and just a lot of guys aren't willing to do it. And I mean, rightfully so.
Now back in the fairway with McKenzie.
Yeah, there's not too many flag sticks out here that really catch your attention just with how soft it is. There's really, you can kind of get up and down from most places when you miss the greens. But this is that one hole location out here today that you just have to be so careful of. The only reason you should ever get pin high here, Johnson, if you just happen to have a perfect number.
Couldn't agree more, Smiley. I was just about to say the same thing. Helps having a guy like Julian Trudeau on Mackenzie's bag as well. Great player in his own right, was on the big break. Wife is a good player, played professionally for a little bit. He knows this situation.
This guy came out really high. Oh, goodness gracious. How good is that?
And watching it take one hop and stop and not spinning back, that is incredible command of his short irons.
Hughes dialed in. He is pushing Åberg. Now Ludvig.
Well, he took note of that shot right there, how that ball did not spin back. So it wouldn't surprise me here from 121 that he tries to fit it back there as well. Flights it down just a bit.
Nice little sawed-off follow-through, three-quarter wedge swing, just spectacular. Again, I'm running out of adjectives for this guy, Steve.
It is fun to watch these two get after it on a Sunday at the Seaside course. There is Peter Hansen, longtime DP World Tour player, was in the final group of the Masters in 2012, had a terrific career playing all over the world. Now he's mentoring Ludvig Åberg. With more on that relationship, let's welcome in Todd Lewis.
Peter was a figure on the world stage when it comes to golf. He played on the PGA Tour a bit. In 2012, he was in the mix at the Masters, finishing tied for third. There you see him competing at Augusta National. Later that year, he picked up his 6th DP World title at the prestigious BMW PGA Championship, holding off superstars like Rory McIlroy. He is now coaching and mentoring fellow Swede Ludvig Åberg, as you mentioned, Steve. And he's trying to make this transition to an elite level on the world stage out of college. Ludvig, he says, according to Peter, has a simple, repeatable swing. We talked about that. He's worked the last few months on his short game and putting. Mentally, he's very much a flatliner, according to Peter, and doesn't get ahead of himself. That maturity, which is continuing to develop under the instruction of Peter Hansen, is one of his greatest assets. Peter is staying with Ludvig here this week at Sea Island. Got him prepped mentally and emotionally, not only last night, but this morning, for this incredible opportunity to win on the PGA Tour for the very first time.
Todd, during a practice round in Italy in the Ryder Cup, we were walking with Peter Hansen and we were chatting with him, and Johnson, Peter was saying he's like aged beyond his years. That demeanor that Todd just alluded to is one of the keys to his success at such an early age.
And Jim mentioned it yesterday, but the fact that he was in the Institute in Sweden for athletics, I think they teach these kids at a young age mentally how to be strong and how to prepare themselves.
First to play here on the 10th green. Putting for birdie is Eric Cole.
Yeah, he's putting from the low spot of this green up to this top little shelf here. A very makeable putt. We need to definitely channel what he did yesterday, which is pretty much all threes in his first 8 holes on the back 9.
It doesn't look like it's Eric's day. He's starting to run out of holes considering the 7-shot deficit.
Still in 5th place, though. There's a lot to play for. Make a run, keep your patience. You lose your cool in a time like this, it's easy for the bogeys to pile up.
And now Ludvig trying to get to 26.
At least put it in the correct position for this birdie putt at the 10th, putting back up the hill.
Bailey Ray, we talked about the Peter Hansen relationship. How great is it that an older player with all that experience is helping to mentor a young could-be star on the PGA Tour?
It's worth everything because, you know, as a player, you want to turn to someone that's been there. I know you have a lot of swing, you have a lot of technique issues, but also when you can actually bounce stuff off from the mental side, how to deal with stuff during the round of golf with someone that's been there is just incredible to have that type of relationship.
Makes another one. He goes out in 30, Johnson, and he makes a birdie at 10.
Well, we saw in the last hole on number 9, McKenzie was first to putt, made it, put a lot of pressure on Ludvig. He was able to put it on top of him. Billy Ray, now McKenzie's got the pressure, and you wonder, this is starting to look a little bit like match play.
Oh, 100%. And it's watching these two guys right now, McKenzie, Hughes shooting 30. You know, I would say, Johnson, for McKenzie, let's try to keep the tee box. Let's keep the pressure on Ludvig. And obviously making birdies and hitting it in tight like you did here at 10 is exactly what you want to be doing.
4 birdies in a row for Mackenzie Hughes. He's keeping pace with the leader. The spread is 2.
Back at the 11th. Mackenzie Hughes on the tee here. 6 under on his round. 24 under for the week.
He has been driving it so good, but this is hanging out to the right. Needs to get over that fairway bunker. We'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, let's take a look at this 11th. We saw that fairway bunker out there, but it's playing 418 yards today. Try to navigate it between those bunkers. 262 to the first part of that bunker, 322 through it. Most of the players hit it right here. That left bunker's not in play, but this whole location on the front porch in the green, very accessible today. 3rd easiest hole on the golf course. We've had 28 birdies. We're seeing guys take advantage of where this hole's cut today. Now, Åberg is on the tee here now. Check out this tracer by TrackMan. Maybe a little bit of a fade. It ain't gonna move much.
And just a bullet up the right-hand side, and a little window opening here for Ludvig after the tee shot by Mackenzie Hughes out to the right.
Yeah, that should be just fun. I think it'd go back to the Ryder Cup and that experience so positive for him. But now Duncan is for birdie. Don't count him out yet. Putter's been working. It'll work again. Oh, it wiggled left. It was trying to break right. Just lost its speed. So we remain at 21. -4 on his round today. Solo 3rd.
This week on tour, it's a busy one for the LPGA down in Southwest Florida in Naples. The CME Group Tour Championship concluding another LPGA season, and Nasa Hataoka has a 1-shot lead over Amy Yang. Allison Lee is right there at 21 under par, trying to get the victory. Minjee Lee at 18 under par as well. The DP World Tour concluded earlier today, right here on Golf Channel in Dubai. Nicolai Højgaard with a 2-shot victory. Look at that field. Victor Hovland and Tommy Fleetwood right behind him, and Matt Wallace. John Rahm made a run at it, but Nicolai Højgaard is the man with a Sunday 64. As you look at the DP World Tour, players to earn, they didn't get it or accept it yet, but they have earned their PGA Tour membership, and it is going to be an eclectic group coming over from the DP World Tour to the PGA Tour next season, if these guys all accept it.
Well, with the purses the way they are on the PGA Tour, there's a lot more opportunity. I would think all those guys would be chomping at the bit.
As we go to 18, well, I hope you were with us yesterday when we told the story of Matt Atkins. It was amazing. His emotions, the Monday qualifier, made the cut, big check. Wanted to really help he and the family out, paying the bills, he said. It was really, really emotional time for him this week.
It was. Birdied the last 3 holes to make the cut on Friday. He's sitting in T36 right now, so it's going to be a nice paycheck for him.
Good for Matt. He's had PGA Tour status before, Korn Ferry Tour status as well, but this is going to be a big earnings week for Atkins and the family. And as you take a look at the Sea Island script during the Great Depression, Sea Island paid its employees, check this out, scrip, it was called, a form of privately printed local money issued with regular currency, which was scarce at the time. President Roosevelt shut down the banks, Johnson, so that's the currency they decided to use on Sea Island. How amazing is that?
That's pretty amazing. I'd like to get my hands on some of that. I bet it's worth a lot right now.
Well, $5 isn't going to do the trick for Matt Atkins and his family as he enjoys his daughter right there. It was a huge week for him. He's going to earn just a couple of more bucks than 5 from that special week. That Monday qualifier, and then you never know. Make a run on Thursday and Friday, and good for him for playing the weekend on the PGA Tour and earning that money.
Issues for Mackenzie Hughes now, Smiley.
Oh, his ball is it's embedded in this natural sandy area right above the bunker. Currently, Stephen Cox is walking him through this rolling.
Should not be getting free relief either, buried in a sandy area.
Take a look at there's his ball here. You can see that that is just really buried there.
It's not something you're going to be able to advance out of here. It is. I mean, I could barely see the top dimple of it. We were lucky to find it.
Yeah, Dave, I'm on it. Thank you. There's a difference between bunker and sand. I mean, obviously, we know you're not going to get it in bunker, but the sand is like surrounding. Second opinion here.
Yeah, call for a second opinion, which he's entitled to. And this could definitely change maybe Åberg's approach coming in there. I mean, it's just waiting to see whether he stays aggressive or not. But this whole location's been very accessible. Let's see why he would go at this one. Well, while they figure that out, it's sneak over to 17. Svensson now for birdie. He's 8 under on his round. He's currently tied or alone in 4th.
You're having a great day. What a fun way to end his title defense.
Yeah, he's played some solid golf. 19 under par is nothing to sneeze about.
Tyler Duncan's on the tee at 12, and he now finds himself 5 back. He is in go mode big time.
It's a pretty gettable hole location on the front right today. It's where a lot of players end up normally when the flag's not there. A big collection area, short right of this flag. You do not want to be there. It's a very nice, smart, conservative shot. Be putting back downhill, downwind. Going to have a little speed on that one.
Going to drop back a hole. It looks like a mess over there for Mackenzie, Jim.
It is. All right, Smiley, what's the update?
I just talked to Stephen Fox, and exactly right, Johnson. You don't get relief from this sandy area. It would be very similar if his golf ball was embedded in a penalty area. You don't get a relief from the penalty area. You don't get relief from sandy area. Similar like you were playing links golf. That was the example given to me if it was a ball left in a dune area. And that's kind of what we're seeing here.
Yeah, the local rule sheet says ball embedded in sand. No relief from the balls embedded in sand as part of the general area is not cut the very high to the left. Rule 16.3a.
I mean, I can see
most of my mark. I can't. That's why I mean. So how do I do that?
Can I just not?
And Jim, he's going to have to identify that ball.
Yes, that's correct. He's entitled to that. Åberg's just going to take a seat here.
Okay.
Expect any change in him. But I look back at the Ryder Cup and that experience. If you're ever going to have your nerves and pressure exposed, it's in that. And I think just being around those great players for that week, it just enhanced his confidence in himself and having a successful and the team winning. I think that's been a big part for Åberg, and I think that's helping him today. Whoops.
That insult to injury there with the bag drop. So it looks like he's going to be taking an unplayable, Jim.
Sure is. All right, Smiley.
Yeah, he put the tee down to use that as a reference point, drawing that back from where the hole location is, from where that tee is, and he's going to go all the way back on the opposite side of this bunker. He's going to be dropping in the primary rough, but the rough is really no issue at all.
Yeah, that's his best option back there, no doubt. You still try to get focused, get it close, tap it in.
Oh, he can easily make a par. He hadn't made a bogey in about 50 holes, Jim, so I'm not going to put it past him.
No. Looks like this shot might be a blind shot as well. I think the toughest thing is
just how far back he is here. It's going to be right around 160 yards, and y'all showed kind of where Ludvig's drive is as well. It's probably close to 100 yards. He can hit probably 10 balls. If he hit 10 balls, they'd probably all be inside of 10 feet. So he's most likely going to make another birdie. So this is probably a must up and down here. He's going to stay in this race.
Yeah, Mackenzie's been pretty level-headed. I think at this point, this is where you kind of try to slow your mind down just a little bit, kind of get refocused. Got a bad break, you got to, you know, kind of get back into the game here.
Yeah, to that point, Jim, calling in for a second opinion just to give himself the time to catch a breath and make a clear-headed decision.
View from above here, but this hole's been pretty easy today.
Yeah, like pretty good.
27 birdies.
Shot with that one.
Control quite a way.
Yeah, absolutely, Mac.
Got some room past that flag, right?
Correct.
How many?
We've got another 12.
Okay.
To the back edge.
I like this. I'll just roll for one of these.
Love it, Mac.
For a lot of players, like Åberg plays normally pretty fast.
4 o'clock.
Don't feel like it's going to affect him any.
Well, I really like how Mackenzie went through his full routine. He did not rush himself in this situation. I feel like they talked out the shot very well and are well prepared for what this next shot is facing for Mackenzie. Ooh, he mishit that. That is out to the right.
Not that left for par. There. No, not his best. All right, over at 15, Ben Coles now for birdie. Here's the par 5. They took advantage of this, played just over 4 strokes average yesterday. Third of a shot tougher today, but nice birdie for Ben.
There you go.
13, McCarthy now for birdie. Just to get to -19. Now he's tied for 6th. That's where he'll stay. All right, Eric Cole will be next here at 11.
Just an ideal range shot here, just over 100 yards for Eric Cole. He drives this in really low.
Excellent play of that for birdie. One over on his round, but still tied for 6. Keep grinding. All right, Åberg will be next.
Yeah, from this right-hand side of the fairway, Jim, just a terrific angle. Just 98 yards. The wind is picked up, helping here. He also drives this ball down.
Excellent play. Just below the hole, right where he wants to leave it. He's got a 2-shot lead. Will he increase it? We'll just have to wait and see. RSM Classic. All right, Mackenzie Hughes for par here at 11. Did he? Oh my, he did. Is that any good?
The streak continues.
Absolutely. Don't ever quit.
Putter makes up for a lot of mistakes.
Yeah. That was so good. We're going to take another look at this. He's begging for it. Come on. He knows he made it. Great lesson for the young folks at home watching. Don't ever quit. Keep grinding away. Great putt there. Things have changed a little bit now. Over to 12.
Tyler Duncan going across this green at the par 3.
Pretty big breaking putt left to right, really fast, downhill, downwind. Gotta be a little bit careful. He's been a bit tentative the last couple holes.
Nothing tentative about that. A little bit of a bonus birdie for Duncan to keep him in there. Take a look at this again. A thing of beauty.
And sometimes it's nice under pressure to have the downhill, downwind putt. You don't have to worry about getting it to the hole. Just let it drip right in the front edge.
They're trying to push this guy, Jim.
They're trying, but he's not moving. All right, Åberg now for birdie.
I cannot believe the par that we just saw there by Mackenzie Hughes. Now, you know, in the back of my mind, Ludvig was thinking, oh man, great chance for a 2-shot swing here. Now, this is a big putt. If he misses this, the momentum goes right back to Mackenzie Hughes after that incredible par. Not the case.
He's not going to miss. He's so good.
What am I thinking, guys?
You know, I say this, and they told us in the Ryder Cup, you always have to expect the unexpected. You always expect your opponent to make a putt like that. You got to focus in on your own game, but it's just, there's no tricky to it. 3 in a row. All right. Mackenzie Hughes now to save par. And he does. Åberg for birdie. Nothing but net. Any questions? Hero coverage today provided by GoldNiles.com. Great look down there to 12th. We had some great views this week. Beautiful day out here. Impressive.
Long par 3. The PGA Tour rules staff does such a cool job each and every week with these par 3s, mixing and matching those hole locations, differentiating them for the players like Ludvig Åberg, who made another birdie. He is 7 under par through 11 holes, and look out, man. He has stretched that lead to 3. He's got people coming at him, and he is holding them all off right now. Billy Ray, it has been awfully impressive, and if he does get a victory today, all those things, all those amazing things, Johnson, are right in front of him.
And I mean, he's sitting at 53 in the world going into this week, so he's certainly going to jump up, but getting exempt into the major championships, that's what he's looking for.
Yeah, it looks like he'll also be in those signature events as well. So the world is his oyster right now, Billy Ray.
Certainly is, and more importantly, this is way to the right. He's got the tee box back, but this is way right.
And that's the one place you don't want to miss. He's not going to have a lot of green to work with. He's shown us that he's got the ability to get it up and down, considering the fact he has 0 bogeys on the week. But that's one of those cases to that front right pin. I think a little more conservative play could have been better. Let's take another look at that swing. I love the way his arms hang down right there at address. Nice position at the top. Just looks like it was a contact issue. He plays a big fade, and the wind's going that way, so maybe just a little bit of toe contact to get a little extra movement left to right.
Billy Ray, we hear you guys say it all the time. The par saves are the ones that keep the momentum going. That was a world-class one from Mackenzie.
It's a big shot here from Mackenzie, and he is absolutely straight if it's enough.
I mean, I have to think that par on the last felt like a birdie.
He'll have a putt to get a little bit closer to Åberg, perhaps, at the 12th when we come back. We are back, looking down at the gorgeous Seaside Golf Club, the Seaside course. The par 3 12th is right there. You see the green. First errant shot, Billy Ray, we've seen all day from Ludvig Åberg. What does this second one look like from your vantage point?
Well, I checked the lie over here. The ball's sitting pretty cleanly, down just a bit. One advantage he has, he'll be pitching back into the breeze with the soft conditions. But on the other hand, he only has 18 feet of green to work with, and he has to come over collection area. So I don't think, Johnson, he can use that little bump shot into that slope there. He's already tried it once today, back at the 7th, and came up well short. He's got to play this one through the air.
Just cannot come up short to this pin. It'll come all the way back off the green to his feet. Well, not to his feet where they are now, but he's got to get this to the hole.
Yeah, pretty smart play there, taking that option out right there. Didn't want to have anything to do with that collection area short of the green. Took it over the flag now. Maybe 10, 12 feet now left for his par.
Oh, you're good, Andrew. Good.
And he will rely on the putter to 13.
Yep. Duncan's second shot, currently 22 under. Ooh. Well, not horrible.
Up at the 16th, this is Ben Coles.
First time players have been able to see the bottom of the flagstick going into the 16th today. It's all the way on the left side. Continuing his great run.
Another man reaches at least 20 under par. Look at that clean scorecard. From Coles to Cole. Eric Cole. This is an athletic family. His father, Bobby Cole, was a PGA Tour winner back in the 70s. His mother, Laura Baugh, the LPGA Rookie of the Year in the early 70s. And Cole's grandfather, Hale Baugh, was a pentathlete for the United States back in 1948. So the athletic genes have made their way down to the 35-year-old.
It's a pretty good effort right there. I know he's wanting more than pars at the moment, but walking off the 12th with a 3 is not a bad thing.
Alpha Pack, can you pay me red for a couple minutes?
I'm going to stay here now for Mackenzie Hughes, and Smiley coming off that par save at 11, which was remarkable. This is actually an enormous putt, considering that a lengthy par putt is upcoming for the leader, Åberg.
Oh, no doubt, and I think it just shows what type of player Mackenzie Hughes is. Just total grit shown on that last green on 10. Johnson, this guy has one putted his last 5 holes. I mean, I expect this to have a really good chance.
Putting up the hill, just got to hit it.
Dude,
I can't believe it.
He can't either, Smiley.
Line lock.
Look at this disappointment.
Similar reaction that we saw the putt it for 59 yesterday. Just couldn't believe he didn't hit it.
Heard you say it many times. A line doesn't mean anything if the speed is not correct.
You got that right.
So here's the first real pressure point today, Billy Ray, for the leader.
I would believe he's up to the task here. I think it was a very smart second shot, giving him a chance to say par here. This comes across the slope. The green slopes from back to front. It's going to move right here.
First bogey of the week for Åberg. See how he responds. Got a tough stretch. 14 coming up is the hardest hole on the golf course. Got a good look at 13 though. Made birdie there yesterday.
The only player in the field coming into today, excuse me, who had yet to make a bogey. So first hiccup for Ludvig.
Last person to win a golf tournament going bogey free was Tom Kim last fall in Las Vegas. Take another look at this putt. Billy Ray had it read perfectly, just creeping left to right, and he just had too much speed on it to take the break. Wonderful putt, wonderful stroke, just didn't go in.
Well, even when he misses, it's not by much. So Åberg coming down the stretch, trying to win for the first time. The lead is now down to 2.
Well, Åberg's lead is now 2. Mackenzie Hughes within 2 on the tee.
Oh, this is an absolute rope right down the middle.
Let's take a look at the 13th, playing 402 yards, a little dogleg from right to left. Players are hitting this fairway 88% of the time, so relatively easy fairway to hit. Most of the players that hit her down there try to hit a little draw down there. Then the next shot coming in, that whole location over there on that front left portion, also a very easy green to hit as well. So stroke average today 3.778. So a birdie hole here. All right, Åberg is next on the tee.
Yeah, see how he responds, Jim, after his first bogey of the week.
Nicklaus and driver. Well, another shot right, and that's if it'll come back down. So it's the fairway there. Lost 2 shots have gone to the right, so maybe getting things a little bit more interesting. Duncan now for par. He'll stay at 22 under, Steve. All right, Cole's for birdie here at 17. Just to get to 21 under par. Oh, wow. How'd that not go in?
You were giggling like you thought he made it.
I did. When I start to giggle, I think they make it.
14th.
Wind blowing in out of the right. This is playing as the toughest hole on the golf course today, but he likes it quick to that tee. Job number 1 is done. Now he's got to deal with that tough back center hole location.
Well, that music means one thing tonight. The Vikings battle Russell Wilson and the Broncos. Catch this exciting matchup 7 Eastern over on NBC and Peacock. 2 of the hottest teams in the league. Josh Dobbs gets traded from Arizona, doesn't know the guys, doesn't know the plays.
2-0.
Won a couple of games, and Russell Wilson led the Broncos on the road last Monday at Buffalo to a big road win. Should be a good matchup tonight in Mile High. Good matchup right now. Not quite match play just yet, but it seems like it's getting closer and closer to that scenario with Åberg and Hughes, Jim, doesn't
Well,
it?
especially with Åberg in that bunker, and now Hughes in the fairway, that could be a 2-shot swing pretty quick here as well. I think, you know, I think when you're in a position like this, you just have to kind of stay focused on your own game. You have to really, and I mentioned it when they made the turn that, you know, Ludvig had to stay aggressive. He had to kind of stay in there because the scores are low, and these guys that are, when you're coming from behind and you're trying to catch up, you stay aggressive, and that's the mode those guys are in. So when scores are as low as we've seen them, Johnson, that's what you're going to see.
No doubt, Jim, and I always found this to be one of the hardest shots for me to hit. When you've got a wedge coming out of a soft sand fairway bunker, your contact has to be incredibly precise, and anything short of the screen, that is a difficult pitch off that false front.
Well, you got to be aware of the spin too, and it's easy to get steep. Maybe Jack Clark trying to get the number here for him. The lie doesn't look too bad, Billy Ray.
You know, Jim, the lie is fine. It's on the upslope, and you know that recent rain that we had Thursday and a little bit on Friday has really firmed up these bunkers, and not as sand not as soft as usual, so contact is a bit easier. He's got a clear path to the hole. None of those bushes in front, some of that native area, will not obstruct his view or his swing. So this is very doable here. 128 yards. Yeah, solid contact. See if it's enough. Now it comes back down in that collection. Yeah. Now you're busy from that position there.
And now you got to pay attention. If you're Mackenzie Hughes, you go right at it. So this is really kind of got a little bit interesting here. Had the 3-shot lead, makes bogey at the last hole, misses the tee shot here. Cole will be next to play.
Yeah, and Jimmy actually had 2 tee balls off this tee. He thought this first ball actually went into the bushes back behind him to the right. Luckily, the ball is fine, sitting just fine here in the primary rough. He's had this number about 3 or 4 times today, just a couple steps over 100 yards and a great angle to this left hole location.
Yeah, he's hit some squirrely drives today, and unlike the first 3 days. There's nothing squirrely about that one. Nicely done. That'll be about 15 feet for birdie. Cole's tied for 6th now, but 1 over on his round. When you're seeing the scores we're seeing, we've seen a 9 under par by Griffin, a couple 8 under pars. It's going backwards when you're shooting over par today. All right, Mackenzie Hughes, 2nd shot.
Massive drive, only 84 yards here. Just a very simple shot downwind off of his right. Oh, he hit this too hard.
Yeah, that's not his best. So I expected that to be about 8 or 10 feet, especially with a bear just short. So.
Jim, while we have a moment, today's coverage is brought to you by RSM, the leading professional services firm for middle market leaders. And by Srixon, the all-new Srixon Z-Star Series. Discover your winning formula. Out to 14, just inside the fairway's edge on the left. Tyler Duncan.
Big fall off left and long of this green. Another one-armed follow through for Tyler. Ooh, that's coming up way short. Big mishit.
Not his best there. As you look at the gorgeous, serene setting here in the Golden Isles, it's a little chillier in the wintertime in Sweden, and you know what? That does not stop Ludvig from making sure he's still prepared to get out there to play. It's impressive.
Well, you don't get an opportunity to swing much in the wintertime, so you got to make do with what you got. Respect that work ethic.
I mean, that is some serious work ethic. Work ethic is something that I'm not sure that can be taught. It's like competitiveness, Jim.
You gotta have it from inside. All right, Billy Ray, what's he have left?
Yeah, he's going to open the face here and come in low and try to spin it. This needs to go.
See, practice does pay off.
Even in the snow?
Even in the snow. I don't know if he had that shot in the snow, but well done.
Possibly, Jim.
Yeah.
Really impressive how he's handled these tough pitch shots on the back nine, trying to get his first win, hitting them into the right spots. Just needs to not put himself in that situation in the first place.
He's got a great view. I don't know if they paid for their ticket. They're just short, but going to watch some good golf. Yeah, I think around these greens, you know, as much rain as they had, it gets a little bit trickier around here. When it's firm, you can kind of feel like you could spin it. And I know it's drying out a little bit here, but he's hit some pretty good shots on some very difficult plays. He's hit different shots. He's hit it in the air. He's hit low shots, and I think that's the key for some of his saves. All right, Mackenzie Hughes now for birdie.
Tell you what, after that massive drive from Mackenzie, having about 35 feet here is not what he was looking for. Those 3/4 wedge shots, I tell you what, when you got a little adrenaline going, it's so easy to hit those a little too far, especially downwind. And Jim, this isn't really a putt you could be aggressive on. You really have to be on the defensive side.
So kind of, it's by the hole about 3 feet, so he'll have that left. A little bit of work left for his putt, for his par. Yeah, you would have expected him to hit that a little bit closer from inside 90 yards. These guys practice enough of those.
We talked about Mackenzie already being a multiple winner on the PGA Tour here at the RSM and also at the Sanderson Farms. If he does get another victory today, again, all those rewards, these guys know exactly what's in front of them, especially when they can get a win on the PGA Tour.
There's always a carrot dangling on the PGA Tour. No matter what level you're at, you can always get to that next level.
All right, Eric Cole now. This for birdie.
And just a great look up the hill, right to left. They're in a right-handed putter that doesn't like the look of this putt.
He's made a bunch this week. He makes another one. He was tied for 6th. That'll move him into a tie for 5th. So nice putt there. Back to even for the day. In 19 under. I'll tell you this, watching him play this season, he's going to keep grinding it away. He's not going to give up. He's going to make a couple more coming in. All right, Åberg will be next. This to save par.
Yeah, this look here for Ludvig is just back up the hill. Jim, this is a putt that you can't give the hole away.
Had a par putt of a similar length over there on the 8th. He just absolutely buried it right in the middle.
And he does it again here at the 13th. Good save there. Bad tee shot, got away with it. Great save. Kind of settled himself down now. Missed a couple of those tee shots off the last 2 holes to the right. All right, now Hughes now to save par to stay within 2.
He's going to be kicking himself at the end of the day if he loses by 1 or 2 shots. That wet shot, those are ones that he normally hits inside about 3 or 4 feet.
And he firms that in the hole, so he's got a little bit of work left. He's 2 back of Åberg, or Åberg, excuse me.
14.
We are back with Grayson Sigg putting for birdie at the 14th.
Very popular spot today with this back hole location and just too much break. Having a really nice week though. Lives on the island, St. Simon's Island. A lot of support for him.
One of 14 PGA Tour players to live in the Golden Isles. Whatever Davis Love found all those decades ago, everybody else who lives there absolutely adores it as well. Now Hughes on the tee at 14.
That wind is straight off of his right here. This is way up in the air, right down the middle of the fairway. Great tee ball by Mackenzie.
2 really nice driver swings in a row coming off that one that plugged on 11. Really impressive recoil.
A closer look at 14. Exposed with that water. It's not an easy par 4, is it, John?
It is the hardest hole on the golf course today, playing back into the wind, slight right to left. Bunker's not really in play. I've got a little desk set up right behind that tree, aka my office. Most players playing into here, and if you can put it in the fairway, the difficulty with this second shot is the back hole location. Takes a really brave shot to go at it. Anything left or long is almost certainly a bogey.
You won 3 times on tour. You act like you're a hack at it.
Yeah. Just on this hole, very intimidating tee shot.
Billy Ray, get us out of here.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
Oh, that looked like a confident swing too from Ludvig. Nice start to the most difficult hole on the golf course today. A little bit hungry, a little bit of time for a snack as we come close to 2:45 p.m. Eastern time. 2-shot lead coming down the home stretch. We are back. There's the green at 14, all the way back in the fairway, Smiley. You're with Mackenzie Hughes.
Yeah, and this wind is coming straight off of the 15th tee box, which is in and off of his right. Back hole location here, 173 yards. You want to fight something down.
Okay, buddy.
Started about 10-12 feet out to the right of the hole and just let the wind bring it back just a touch. Ideally about 10 feet short of this flag is where he's trying to hit it. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the shot he hit back there on 11 off the tee and with his 3rd into the green, just lower body out racing the upper body.
Here's the par 5 15th. Tyler Duncan's on this tee. The crosswind today. We're playing 4.261 average. 4 eagles, 44 birdies. Players taking advantage of it again yesterday. A little bit easier, and that'll be just fine. A popular spot right there in the fairway. Got to start over the trees.
Now back at 14 with Eric Cole, perfectly placed off the tee.
And this should fit his shot shape great. A couple yards closer. Loves hitting that push draw. And that wind's catching every bit of this, trying to get it back towards the hole.
Yeah, distance was pretty good right there. Hung it out to the right. Still a decent look, but he just can't seem to find the magic he had yesterday where he just kept stuffing it inside 10 feet the entire back 9.
And now the leader.
After a wonderful tee shot, just 151 from the left-hand side of the fairway. You cannot miss left here. Good looking shot. Oh my. What a play there by Ludvig.
Great shot.
To take that back flag on in this situation with 2-shot lead, Mackenzie in a little bit of trouble. He's trying to go ahead and seal the deal right now. That was special.
He looks like he's special, Johnson.
Take a look from above. Wonderful tight flight. Does not curve the ball much at all, just using the wind. Oh, just a couple paces behind that flag, and that is tough.
Now remember what he did here yesterday. He's trying to make a regular birdie today on the green, but how about from off the green in round 3?
To see a guy who can putt like he can, chip like he can, we all know the driver is an absolute weapon for him, and it's hard to find any weakness in his game.
He's such a steady young man. And that's the way he plays the game, with that type of pace.
All right,
this is Carl Ewan.
Yeah, for birdie at 9, he is projected 126, so this is a must-needed putt. Sneaking that top 125.
Not sure it's going to be enough, Jim. May need a little bit of help from Ryan Moore, who's still out there.
If Ryan Moore makes a bogey, that would push Carl back into the top 125. Jim, it's a volatile next hour, hour and a half right now.
Yeah, look at the difference in points difference. It's so close. You're right. One shot will make a difference. When you look at over the course of a year, if it comes down to one shot, you're thinking about it. If you are Carl and you miss it, it's that one shot this week. But that is over the course of the year, and it always seems to come down to one shot here or there, Johnson.
And he was outside the top 150, finished solo 4th last week to really give himself a chance this week. Just has not had a great weekend.
Yeah, Doug Gibb missed the cut, so he's sitting there with no control over it. So that's a tough spot to be in, too.
It is a razor-thin margin out there.
Yep.
Back at the 14th. It's going to be Mackenzie Hughes from off the green.
And Steve, he has a tee in the ground. It is ball in hand, has been the entire day and the entire week.
He was in a similar position yesterday on this whole location, obviously different, but he was over in this collection area to the right and hit just an absolutely spectacular pitch shot. When you watch this, look at the rhythm he has back and through. It's the same both ways, which gives him so much control over the way the ball lands and rolls out.
Smiley, Åberg's trying to do this for the very first time. Mackenzie's trying to win not only on this golf course for a second time, but a third time on the PGA Tour. You're a PGA Tour winner. How much will experience help Mackenzie coming down the stretch here trying to catch Ludvig?
Oh, experience is everything, but he's facing the clock right now. It's time and score, and right now he's facing a tough situation with Ludvig in very tight. Got to be worried about this chip shot getting back into the grain. That first bounce could be so soft. Too bad there.
Yeah, it's a quality play. Looked like he had a wobble off there. Maybe if he went down a wedge, he could have run it out just a hair more. But the way he strikes that, the control he has over his contact and the interaction with the turf is really beautiful to watch.
Let's go over to 15 quickly.
Yeah, and McCarthy for eagle. Looks like he's playing a pretty good break from left to right. Just to get to 20 under. He's right now in 7th. Needs to break. Oh, got most of it. Man, that was a good putt.
Up at 18, Ben Coles to remain 20 under.
Like we said earlier, he's headed to the PGA Tour, led the Korn Ferry Tour money list. He's kind of hopped back and forth throughout his career between the tours, but something's changed in him, and he's an older player now. He's gotten really smart with the way he prepares. I see a good year coming next year for Ben Coles.
Sometimes these young guys, you throw a little salt and pepper on them, give them a little seasoning, and they burst out. Here's Ryan Moore at 15.
Yeah, he's over the green at 2. Now he's this for birdie. A little short on that backstroke. Yeah, he did take that back a couple inches.
Got to think he knows he's around that 125.
He said
number.
He knows. He's been watching. He knows, and I think you'd be. Every player knows where they stand when they're in this spot.
There's Peter Hansen quietly watching from outside the ropes. Todd Lewis telling us he's staying with his man Ludvig Åberg. He is his mentor. is the guy he leans on for experience, and Peter is anxiously watching his man trying to win on the PGA Tour for the first time. And so far so good, Billy Ray. There have been a couple of squirrely shots, but overall he has performed magnificently today.
Well, there was nothing squirrely about this approach shot. I was very surprised that he took on this flag Johnson in his back left. Now he's trying to pay off an aggressive shot here.
Maybe a little bit of a tug, but did not look like that bad of a stroke. That was a huge opportunity. Take a 3-shot lead with just 4 holes to play, and we know as good of a driver as he is, he's certainly going to take advantage of 15.
So now the pendulum keeps swinging.
Yeah.
Åberg had a chance to get to 27, and now Smiley. Hughes, it's not a must make, but boy, this would go a long way to giving him a chance the next 4 holes.
Oh, definitely. It feels like the second time today. It felt like Ludvig was having a chance to really run away with this thing on 11, and now here missing that putt. Mackenzie Hughes, he has a sign of life.
Okay, that's a good up and in for Mackenzie to stay within 2 shots as they head to the 15th on a Sunday.
It's our great view from above, and we're looking down there at the 15th tee. Åberg with a 2-shot lead as they'll head to this par 5. Most players taking advantage of it. 4 eagles, 46 birdies, and Hughes will be on the tee here.
That's where he kick-started his back 9 yesterday with an eagle. Driver 5-iron in there to about 20 feet.
Yeah, those last 4 holes 4 under, and that's a little more left than I thought maybe he'd go. Looks like it'll stay.
Based on that recoil, it looks like he hit it pretty hard.
Yeah, stayed short of the bunker too.
Going to be pretty blocked out there. He's going to have to hit a big hook if he wants to get it up on the green.
That's a crosswind today, so it's a little tougher to hit it. And remember, Åberg yesterday hit it way to the right, but he's been solid. He's 5th in fairway accuracy, 5th in distance, strokes gained off the tee first, strokes gained tee to green first. So in this category of driving, he's been solid.
Aggressive swing there by Ludvig. He made eagle here yesterday as well.
Should say the day before he hit it right, but that's going to be fine. All right, let's take a look at the 15th, the par 5. Got a little bit of a left to right crosswind, as I mentioned. Yesterday played just over a stroke average, just over 4.3 today. Most of the players started up over the trees, cut it back over to here, landed there in the fairway where Ludvig did. Now they got a shot at going back at this hole location. It's actually on that back right side. If you get a little bit frisky, you could get off the green back and to the right and long, but 4 eagles today, so that's a possibility. Tyler Duncan's 3rd now, a little bit unlucky to get all the way to here, but off this first cut might make this shot a little easier. All right. Good chance for birdie. All right, last week's winner, what an emotional win, very popular win. Villegas now here at the 9th. What a run he's had in the fall.
Yeah, it's been incredible. That last group with Kuchar and Van Rooyen in Mexico, and then what he did last week in Bermuda. Great way to end his season.
All right, taps that in.
Talk about being a great fall for Camilo. Got that win last week in Bermuda. One of 41 winners this season on the PGA Tour, and go all the way back to last September in Napa at the Fortinet when Max Homa successfully defended his title. He also got another win at the Farmers Insurance at Torrey Pines. 53 events thus far. 1 more trophy remaining. PGA Tour calendar. Lucas Glover, back-to-back victories. That does not happen often on the PGA Tour.
It certainly doesn't. Pictured there, St. Simon's resident Open champion Brian Harmon.
When he made that putt in Bermuda on Sunday, looked up to the sky, you know darn well he was talking to Mia, his daughter who he and his wife Maria lost a few years ago. What a wonderful week that was in Bermuda for Camilo and the entire Villegas family. This is Austin Eckroat at the 18th.
Actually, that's Peter Quest, Steve, coming into the green here. Special temporary member. Looks like he's going to secure top 150, so he'll be in the 126 to 50 category for next year, and an opportunity to go to Q school and improve on that number.
kick saving a beauty there, Johnson. That was Peter Quest. Thank you. PGAtour.com/shop is your ultimate shopping destination for the best selection of golf equipment and apparel at everyday great prices. Visit PGAtour.com/shop today. As we take another look high above in our aerial coverage this week, provided by GoldenIsles.com. What a place. Glad the weather has cooperated the last couple of days. Southeast Georgia. Golden Isles about an hour, maybe 90 minutes depending on traffic, north of Jacksonville, Ponte Vedra Beach, the home of the PGA Tour.
Tyler Duncan now has a chance for birdie. A pretty good shot in there from just over the green. A good chip shot.
Jim, he's getting to the point where he's going to need to run the table and get a little help, possibly.
Yeah. I think at this point you're trying to get as a player, you're trying to make as many birdies coming in as you can. I don't know if he's going to catch Ludvig, but he's played solid today. He's been 5 under par today's round. I believe Sam Ryder will be first today, or on this hole. Sam's just 1 under par on his round. All right, a little bug to get away from the restart, go back into that process, that routine. Sam's had a solid year, no doubt. 172nd start. 4th at the Farmers, 5 top 10s this season. Nice putt there. Got to move him up to 11th. So try to get another top 10. A couple birdies coming in.
What a great learning experience that was for him Sunday, playing the Farmers with John Rahm in the final group.
Yeah, you learn about yourself. You learn how you handle the pressure. All right, Duncan now. Amazing how these guys line these balls up at the line, and sometimes I feel like they get a little too specific on it.
You got to be committed to it, because sometimes when you get over it, Jim, you know, the line can look different from true address position.
Yeah, that's a big miss there. 2020 champion here. That year he won, he was bogey free through 54 holes. He played solid that year he won, but he's having a solid week, bogey free so far today.
As you take that tall ship links sliding by, and the bridge that connects the mainland to the Golden Isles, Brunswick, the port city. There's a lot to do in that area, Johnson.
There is a lot to do. A lot of people that live on St. Simons, they'll actually ride their bikes across that bridge over to Jekyll, which seems like a pretty steep climb for me.
So you're not a boat guy or a bridge guy?
No, I'm a bridge guy, just maybe not on a bicycle.
It's the bicycle part. I'd like to see that. No, I would.
I've got an e-bike. I bet I could get over on an e-bike.
Jim, your turn.
I got nothing.
I feel like Leonardo DiCaprio is going to hop off of that ship right there.
Captain Jack Sparrow, one of the two.
I am the captain now.
All right, looking at Eric Cole here. He had a real shot here yesterday. We got to take a look at it here. He's going to try to hit this low runner. Whole locations on the front portion. Everybody's taking advantage of it. There's the low part. There's the running part. Remarkable shot. Nearly holds it out. About 5-6 feet. Tap that in and make the eagle. Now his second shot here today. Wow, 57 career wins on the minor league golf tour. I mean, he's been playing all year long. He went back to play the Frank Fuhrer tournament. Another one of those tournaments, won that, donated his earnings. It's just he loves to play and compete. He's not going to love that.
He hung this out to the right towards the bunker. And that'll be just fine. Bunker shot back into the wind right there.
I go back down into the flat portion, so we'll have a little bit of a fringe to go through, but shouldn't be too bad. Back into the wind maybe a little bit, so that'll help. Ludvig Åberg now, beautiful tee shot here, made the eagle yesterday, did miss the drive the second round, but perfect spot here.
231, Jim. A little miss it here. This is headed to the right as well. He gets into the bunker, but not all the way up into it. We'll see the lie. It could be possibly on the downslope of that bunker.
It could be sitting down as well, so we'll have to see. He's flashed a few of them out to the right there on those longer shots back at the par 3 and there. All right, Mackenzie Hughes now.
Well, Jim, ever since Mackenzie and Julian got up to this golf ball, they have been in conversation for about 5 to 7 minutes on what to do on this shot. You can hit a big high hook. The wind is off to the left, so you really got to hook it if you're going to be able to get it onto the green, because those trees definitely are blocking him out.
That's our tracer trackman. Oh, that was low.
Oh, that's a really cool shot. Low running hook shot. That's going to give him a great angle, Jim, on this next chip shot.
Tracer would have said that went about 5 feet in the air, but that was a low burner. That was probably the play. That looked like it barely got over the lip of that. We got to take another look at that, though. Look how low this comes through. Just barely got over that lip, Johnson. A lot of bad things could have happened there.
Already had the plug lie on 11. Didn't need another one here.
I'm not sure he wanted to keep it that low, but he wanted to hit that low hook. He's got it down there just short of the green with some green to work with. The other two guys are in the bunker. Can they get it up and down? Back here at the 15th green, look above. Back there's the green in the distance. Hughes will be next to play out of here just short of the green.
And about a 40-yard shot here from Mackenzie. Ball in hand, so perfect lie. That wind's off his left, and that means something for this little cut spinner shot. I imagine he's going to try to hit here.
Makes contact, lands towards the flag. That's a beauty.
Excellent play.
Well done. Away.
Get some pressure on this next shot now. That was well played, well thought out. Take a look at this. This from way above. A pretty good sized divot, actually, I thought. But soft greens, back into it, back into that grain. Well played. Åberg now, his third shot. Lie looks fine.
Yeah, ball sits on the upslope. Perfect lie. Now the pressure after that shot from Mackenzie Hughes goes right back to Ludvig here. Back into the breeze, though. Very doable.
Excellent play. Whoever raked the bunker did a nice job, because that was a pretty good lie. So straight up in the air. That ball really lofted high.
You do a bad job, you get fined, Jim.
Yes, you do. Take a look at the contact here. Lifts it straight through, drops it down and through, releases across it. Wow. Another look from above.
Swing never looks rushed.
I mean, he accelerates through it, and it's got the speed. That's how you spin the ball. You got to have some speed, but you're right. Nothing seems rushed. He may swipe across some of the longer shots, but that was excellently, a very excellent play there. All right. Eric Cole now, his third.
Yeah, this is even more on the upslope. It would not surprise me one single bit if he rings the bell on this shot.
Way to go, Aaron.
Very nice.
Way to go.
So all three players have got taking advantage of this par 5. All right, Denny McCarthy on the tee here at the par 3, the 17th. Playing 202. He's 5 under on his round today. Currently 19 under.
Traditional back right flag. Looks like it's not even on the green from that tee box.
Yeah, that ball's on the green just short, about 30 feet. Eric Cole did chap his in for his birdie. We expected him to make that, so Gets one back. All right, Åberg will be next.
Yeah, wonderful bunker shot, and not much in this putt here. He has handled this distance quite well this afternoon.
Well, with Mackenzie Hughes in there close, got to make this putt here to keep that 2-shot lead. All right, temporary 3-shot lead. Nice birdie there. Well played. Hughes in there about 3-4 feet for birdie as well. Less than 3 feet. All right, so he matches the birdie after driving it up that left side. Had a nice little runner up there. A great little chip shot to that. I think it's 25 under.
Up here at the 16th in the fairway is Tyler Duncan.
Far left hole location. It's been sitting over that bunker the previous 3 days. Can't miss left or long.
Good shot. Uphill for birdie. But it looks like he is going to run out of time. Åberg and Hughes have this one beyond reach for everyone else. The final group has reached the 16th tee, this par 4, and Mackenzie Hughes is first to play.
This wind is straight off of the left, and he cleared through that one really nice, Johnson.
And he's taking an aggressive line, about 285 yards to cover to the fairway there. It's going to leave a great angle.
Talked about it being an aggressive line. Why so as you look at it from the tee?
What you can see as the marsh sort of meanders its way through this hole. 260 on the line right there. Mackenzie's was just left of that, right in the 285-yard range, and he had plenty of distance to get to that bunker down the right-hand side. Now he's set up for success to this front left hole location. Just have to watch out of getting over the back of the screen. It runs away sharply and leaves it very difficult up and down.
And now the leader.
After that tee shot from Mackenzie Hughes, applies a little pressure here to Ludvig.
Quickly to that tee, heading just left of that fairway bunker, and another great tee shot by Åberg.
And softly in the fairway now, Tyler Duncan on the green at 16.
He has made plenty from this range this week. One last adjustment to his line. Leaderboards everywhere out there. I know he's thinking about making a push here and hopefully getting some help. This one needs to go. 2 clear of solo 4th, so he can afford to be aggressive. It's 2 big missed opportunities there on the last 16 and 15.
The fans have come out all week long to see the best players in the world perform on their golf course. So far, Åberg is the best of the bunch.
All right, Ryan Moore for birdie. You see the green's little mark up there, 122nd projected. This is the birdie putt. This is the big putt here. Yeah, there you go. He's played himself right inside there. That projection to 117. So he went to 117. Here's the bubble. Troy Merritt, who did miss the cut. He's on the number. Carl Yuan, he needed a little help here. He's 126. Doug Gim missed the cut. It looks like he's going to be fine, but man, that is really not many points in between those guys.
It's incredible how tight it is.
Almost
every single year since the FedEx Cup started, Jim, in 2007, it is always, almost always that tight.
And to Ryan Moore's, you know, I'm always amazed, and Johnson knows, and all the guys that are calling this, the guys that play well when they have to at the end. It's so impressive to know you haven't played all that great, And all of a sudden you find something the last week or two and you end up getting in there.
And Ryan Moore, after missing the cut at Sanderson Farms, fell to 155th in the FedEx Cup, had a 13th in Vegas, the third place finish last week in Bermuda. And with this finish, he's going to find himself inside the 125 again for the first time in a couple seasons.
Correct.
No, it hasn't been Eric Cole's day, has it been, Smiley?
It really hasn't, just been a little bit off. But Steve, he's played just about as much as anybody. I think Mark Hubbard's played maybe one event more than him at like 38 or 9 weeks. I mean, maybe just ran out of steam a little bit, but what an incredible year he's had.
This is his 37th start this season. Finds a piece of the green there. He just loves playing golf, Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting married December 9th, but he's going to play the Minor League Tour Championship 3 days before. I mean, hey, he's a true pro. Been out there grinding for a long time.
Got to pay for that ring somehow. Here's Mackenzie Hughes now in the fairway at 16.
Yeah, Johnson, you described it. Absolutely perfect drive from Mackenzie. Playing off an arc slope here, and this whole location's cut right on kind of top of a knob here, so anything past might take a bit of a bounce. Anything a little bit short back into the breeze could spin back, so control the spin on this shot.
We saw him hit so many good wedges making the turn. That's hung out a little bit to the right. Good distance. The way he's putting, I wouldn't be surprised if he knocks that in.
Nice distance control there for Hughes. So now the pressure gets applied, Billy Ray, to the man who has the 2-shot lead.
Just 96 yards. It's been interesting to watch Ludvig Åberg. He has not been watching the approach shots from Mackenzie Hughes at all. Not even trying to stay in his own little bubble there. Another good one there.
That bubble is not bursting anytime soon. Nice approach. A couple of good looks at birdie when we come back.
Tyler Duncan now here at the 17th, 202 yards over there on that right side of the tee. That tells me he's trying to hit a little bit of a push cut. Didn't move much. All right. 30 feet for birdie. He's in third place at 22 under, so solid play.
Heading back over here to 16. And Mackenzie Hughes. Time's running out, Smiley. Boy, this putt would go a long way to helping apply a little bit more of that pressure onto Åberg.
And it's such a difficult putt to make, Steve. Even though he's inside of 18 feet, it's not one that you expect to make because you're putting down this ridge. So if you get it started too far out on the right, it'll move right. If you get it too low on the left side, it has a chance to move to the left as well. So, man, these are the types of putts, Johnson, you just kind of have to play it fairly straight, and you hope you don't get it too on one side or the other there.
And we just had a nice shot of the aerial. The tour officials do such a great job of finding these hole locations right on grain changes. You can see it right there as he comes up, as Smiley described. There's that little ring, that's the grain changing. So if you get it, like Smiley said, if you get it too high on one side, it's not going to take the break. Looking in your yardage book, that's why he was so disappointed with where he left it. Wanted to be short and left of this hole.
And Johnson, on putts like this, were you focusing more on speed than you are on line because the line was so unpredictable?
I think so. I think just try to put a positive stroke on it, commit to whatever line you choose, and have perfect pace. That's a few putts he's hit now that have just kind of baffled him. That's a really positive stroke.
Just slid by on the low side. This game can be emotional at times. There's Ludvig, steady as she goes, and Mackenzie can't believe that one didn't fall.
Ludvig looking very stoic, not even paying attention to his playing opponent's reaction.
And now has a chance, Billy Ray, to stretch this thing out to a 3-shot lead.
And this is a section of the green just left of the holes. It's just absolutely a perfect spot to putt from here.
Did a similar putt back on 14 that he missed it left. That looked like another good stroke. Just a hard read around that grain change.
Door is slightly more ajar now for Mackenzie Hughes now that he's going to remain 2 back.
Oh, for sure. A 3-stroke difference as opposed to a 2 with only 2 holes to go.
An opportunity lost there for the Swede.
Just baffled with how good he is off the tee. He's 3rd in driving distance this year with 317 yards, but he's also 33rd in accuracy at 64%. So putting that combination together is just mind-boggling.
Did you watch Hughes clean up his par? Okay, and you know, he mentioned his driver. He was asked about it. He said, I like hitting driver. I feel like I do that quite well, so I try to use it as often as I can. When the driver is a weapon and then the rest of your game is up to snuff, this is what happens. You have a lead on the PGA Tour late on Sunday.
I mean, this is the future of professional golf right here. Players like him and this guy in particular.
2 holes remain in regulation for Ludvig Åberg to try to get his first ever PGA Tour victory.
All right, Tyler Duncan now for birdie at 17. This to get to minus 23. He made 1 birdie, and that was on the other par 3 on the back 9. Oh, that's got to go. It was just a moment ago.
The whole back 9, Jim, just has not quite had enough authority with the putter.
And Grayson Sig now. This for birdie, been 13 birdies here. His wife Katie is the daughter of Chris Hack, who's the coach at Georgia. That's where he went to school. And so many of these great Georgia Bulldogs are playing on the PGA Tour.
You're allowed to marry your coach's daughter, Jim?
After the fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who breaks the news there to Coach Hack? Hey, I'm dating Grayson, or hey, I'm dating your daughter.
Exactly. That would be a little bit uncomfortable.
All right, so there's Ludvig Åberg. He's waiting to play off the par 3 17th. Let's go back a little bit earlier this year, Johnson. A birdie at 16 at the 2023 Omega Masters. He's trying to win for the first time on the DP World Tour.
And he was in a real chasing mode, trying to run down.
Now his 2nd at 17.
Just incredible balance and rhythm in this golf swing. The way he flights his wedges and controls the spin.
Controls the spin, and he's just in total control of his game. 6th start ever on the European-based circuit. Finished 19 under par to win by 2. His first ever professional victory. And his best finishes on the PGA Tour. He's had 3 top 10s. Lost to Luke List in that 5-man playoff at the Sanderson Farms. That came during this FedEx Cup fall. So he's been inching closer and closer. He's been getting not warmed up, but more comfortable out there on the PGA Tour.
He's very comfortable. That's Eric Cole. 33 of his last 35 rounds have been under par. He's only 1 under today, and that's not what he was looking for. Been a little bit of a struggle. Driver got away from him a few times, but Mackenzie Hughes will be next.
And I think it was very helpful that Mackenzie Hughes and Ludvig saw Eric Cole's shot that he just hit there. He started probably 8 to 10 yards right of the green, and it still probably ended up 5 or 6 paces left where the flagstick is. So there is some right to left up there. You really can't feel it on the tee, but it's 100% up there.
Yeah, 14 birdies. Average proximity is about 27 feet. So haven't seen a lot of close shots. Just tough to get her close to that back location.
Oh, this started on line. Did he hit it though?
He did. That's about the average distance. Pretty solid shot though. I think he thinks it was going to be a little bit better than that, but
Sure.
Is that like 4 o'clock wind?
I would think.
all right, Åberg will be next.
Yes. That way, okay?
And Jim, with the 2-shot lead here, you got to think he's thinking just center of the green now. He's taking a club 7-iron from 202, a club that he cannot put over the green. And to Smiley's point, there's definitely some wind up there from right to left, coming in very high there for Ludvig.
Okay. Got enough to carry to the front, but that was a smart play. Did not want to hit it long, but he's got a chance for birdie. That was a really good iron shot there. Kind of got it back on track these last few holes. Kind of went a little sideways there for a while, but that happens. Just one bogey for the week.
Impressive how aggressive of a line he took at that right hole location. If that comes up a little short in the bunker, it's a brutal up and down.
Yeah.
It's nice to see someone's conservative play still so darn aggressive.
Yeah, he's just, I think with the greens being soft, he can play it that way too. Here's a look from above. I don't know if there were any anxious moments, but great view from right there. Solid shot once again. Leaves himself about 20-25 feet for birdie. It's hard to win on the PGA Tour. If he does go on to win, he's earned it today. It hasn't been simple. Looks like he could have pulled away from the field, or at least from Mackenzie Hughes, but he hasn't.
Another one of the storylines we're following, the top 125. Brian Moore finishing up at the 18th.
Just a fabulous way to end his fall.
Securing his card. So because Ryan Moore did not trip up coming down the stretch, that hurts Carl Yuan. He is now at 126th, and it looks like he is not going to be able to get above that red line anymore.
Well, he was outside the top 150 last week, had that 4th place finish in Bermuda. I think he's just fine being, nobody wants to finish 126, but he's just fine with it right now, given the way he's played the last 2 weeks.
That's Tyler Duncan, 18. One more thing on that. 126 to 150 gives you conditional status. Might not be as many starts as you would like, but that does guarantee you some spots in 2024 at PGA Tour events.
It does, and he'll certainly go to final stage at Q School and try to play for one of those coveted 5 spots that we finally have back for the first time in over a decade.
To be in Ponte Vedra Beach, the home of the PGA Tour, in mid-December. Jim, I know you're a huge proponent of that as well. Bringing back Q School, getting those spots available.
The only thing I wish is they gave a few more spots at Tour School. I really do. I wish they gave, at least 10, 12, 10 or 15 spots. I really do. I know I love the Korn Ferry Tour because it's a whole year, but I think there's some of the best drama you see. And at least they're giving these guys an opportunity to get back on the PGA Tour. They lost that opportunity, but you learn a lot about yourself this time of year. The thing is, you've had a tough year. Now you got to go back to Tour School. Nobody wants to do that, but you just want that opportunity.
Yeah, opportunity's great. I'm with you. The more spots, the better, but 5 is better than 0.
Absolutely. All right, Eric Cole now, about 36 feet 2 inches.
And all 3 of these guys are going to have some pretty slow putts. Eric Cole being first, and it looks like Mackenzie Hughes next. It's a putt you almost have to convince yourself to hit it hard enough.
He did. Plenty hard, right in the middle. Is he playing any good? It's okay to smile. Might have got away with that one just a little bit, but he'll take it. He's grinding it out. Credit to him. It wasn't so good those first few holes on the front 9, but he has kept grinding.
Looking at his 4th top 5 this fall, 6th overall for the season. Just an incredible rookie year for Eric Cole.
Absolutely. All right, Mackenzie Hughes now 27 feet 9 inches.
Yeah, taking a good long look at this from behind the hole. He knows how important this putt is. It probably needs to go in. You've watched Ludvig play all day. You see how well he is striking the golf ball and putting it. You can't expect him to 3-putt here or bogey 18. So if you're Mackenzie and you have this opportunity up the hill, a putt that doesn't have a ton of break, you got to think to yourself, make birdie here on 17 and birdie 18 and see where the chips fall.
Yeah, tendency when you try to make a putt, you tend to hit the putt a little too hard, but with the end of this putt, I think he can go ahead and give this one a wrap. Never got it started online.
Kind of looked like it hit something about 5-6 feet off of the putter face. Made it wiggle out to the right.
Yeah, he had that look on his face that wasn't quite sure why it stayed out there. That's not a look you want. So he'll make a par, stay at 25 under. The RSM Classic, 5 of the last 6 winners have birdied the 17th hole in the final round. So you're saying?
I would be very surprised here, Jim. If this ball goes in, it'll be on the last couple rolls.
Let's go right in the middle. With a lot
Are you
of
kidding
rolls.
me? Wow.
That's why you put the graphic up.
I think that thing was going 4 or 5 feet by Jim had it missed. That was a lot of confidence.
You got to look at the reaction. Ooh, I got away with it. Look at that. Even Jack Clark's going, oh, to go, partner.
Sometimes it's your week, Jim.
Sometimes it is. You got to take a look at this. This is moving, folks. Now watch how it hits the back of this hole. Boom, boom, boom. Almost had to call bank on that. Yep.
So Ludvig walks to the 18th with one more bit of cushion. A 3-shot lead, an enormous difference between 3 and 2 as we set up the 18th. What does he have ahead of him, Johnson?
Well, it's a pretty benign tee shot with the wind we have today. It's down off the player's left, and Ludvig, the way he likes to play that baby fade, should set up perfectly for him. I don't think any of these bunkers are out of play. The only trouble will be over there to the right-hand side in that penalty area. If he smashes one, he could get it over that cart path and leave just a wedge in here. Certainly with a 3-shot lead, he's not going to be taking on that pin and play it right over to the middle of the green and putt it straight up the hill.
He's a young man, Billy Ray, but wise beyond his years. And you know, when you look at someone trying to win for the very first time and you realize how he's handling his business out there, that stardom that we've all been talking about for the last 12, say 24 months, Billy Ray, seems like it's coming to fruition this afternoon.
Yeah, the stars, the stars shining bright right now for Ludvig. It's going to be interesting to see here, Johnson, what club he pulls out of the bag.
Yeah, Billy Ray, 3-wood downwind wouldn't be a bad idea. I think 3-wood would bring those bunkers into play, but all he needs to avoid is that penalty area down the right-hand side. We've seen him miss a couple tee shots to the right this week. He likes hitting that driver, though.
That is his go-to shot, but Eric Cole will be first to play.
Been a tough day for Eric Smiley, but it was nice to see him make one there at 17.
Yeah, it was a great birdie, and I think he's kind of earned himself a vacation after this. I heard he's playing more golf, though.
He loves to compete.
Being the competitor he is, I'm sure he'd love to jump up and grab a piece of that 3rd place.
Why wouldn't you with that nice tight draw? It is just machine-like when he gets it going.
Now one more driver for Ludvig Åberg. What do you think of this choice, Billy Ray?
I love it. Why change your routine right now? He's done it throughout the week. No need to change right now. This is his go-to play.
It's leaking a little.
This is out to the right.
Oh, the soft conditions helped him there.
Absolutely fine in the first cut. Terrible angle coming over the bunker to the flag, but all he has to do is put it in the middle of the green or anywhere on the green, and he's going to be just fine.
That course is dry. He's in the rough and deep into it. So now Mackenzie Hughes.
That's another beauty, and I would say, Johnson, 2,500 gets it done most weeks.
It certainly does this weekend. The scoring has just gone absolutely bananas. Mackenzie Hughes 17 under for the weekend.
But he's looking up at this man, Ludvig Åberg, 28 under par with a 3-shot lead thanks to this putt moments ago at 17. It was racing, but it was heading for home. Hit the glass and fell down. Not sure if he called glass, however, Johnson.
He didn't need to. That's just pure confidence right there.
And a fist pump and a wry smile as well. And a shake of the head from his caddy. They knew that perhaps they got away with one there. Ludvig Åberg in charge.
Just waiting for the green to clear up ahead at 18, and can only imagine, even though Steve, he is a player that has got to be going through his mind right now.
Get back to him in 1 second, Billy Ray. Here's Grayson Sigg on the 18th green.
Excellent second shot in there to give himself a chance in front of the home crowd. Oh, still a great week. Last year was his rookie year, finished 114th in the FedEx Cup, made a nice step up this year. That's all you try to do as a player, is to get a little bit better every single season.
Really good week for Grayson. As we go back to Åberg, and Billy Ray, finish your thought on the lack of experience worldwide for this kid, but he has a lot of it coming in front of him.
Yeah, he certainly will. It looks like now Eric Cole will be first to play on that left-hand side.
Well, guys, Eric Cole off a downslope here. Yeah, Steven, off a downslope here to a right hole location, about 158 yards. One you definitely want to be just left of. I know he'd love to finish his rookie campaign on a birdie.
Well, and he's one shot back to third and is 2 clear of 5th, so time to get aggressive, Smiley. Go ahead and throw it in there and take a little money out of Tyler Duncan's pocket.
Oh, he's trying to.
Nicely done there by Cole.
Really solid finish to his round so far today. Got off to that poor start, but here's the story of the day.
Åberg stepping right into it, Billy Ray.
Not taking much time. Right hand side in the first cut, center of the green.
So much for not taking that flag on with a 3-shot lead.
Just creeps it onto the green. Hughes, he's had a wonderful week, Smiley. Looks like he's going to come up just a touch short, however.
Oh, I know, and he was watching that shot on a pretty similar angle as Ludvig, and I bet he was thinking, well, maybe that could plug into the lip, but not today. It's Ludvig's day in St. Simon's Island. It's a beautiful strike. This looks like a great way to end the event.
Yeah, in the event, in the long year. He won early in the season at the Sanderson Farms and a bit up and down, so this is going to be a great way for him to cap off this season.
Billy Ray, as we see Ludvig Åberg walking up 18, what are we seeing out of this kid this week?
Well, we're seeing the next superstar take stage here on the home hole, and can't wait to watch him, Steve, when he starts to play major championship golf.
You know what's amazing about that? The Ryder Cup started in 1927. He was selected by the captain, Luke Donald, for the European side. He's the first player in the history of the Ryder Cup, going back to all the way to 1927, who competed in the Ryder Cup, having yet to play in any major championship. Not win one, compete in one.
Right, and he's 53rd in the world and surely climbing up higher, so he'll be in all the majors next year. And his game's built for major championship golf. Hits it far, hits it straight, putts it well, and chips it great.
We are not comparing him to Scotty Scheffler whatsoever. He's the #1 player in the world. But you look back 2 years ago to Whistling Straits, the American captain Steve Stricker picked Scotty Scheffler, who had yet to win on the PGA Tour. And he was saying that the guys on the team wanted Scotty Scheffler on that team because they knew how great he was going to be. He has now won 6 times since that selection. He played beautifully that week for the American side at the Ryder Cup, including a Masters and a Players. So again, we're not making it analogous to that, but as you see his trajectory, it certainly looks as if that captain's pick can propel him into some great things on the individual side in this sport.
It certainly can, and this is going to be the first of what looks to be many victories on the PGA Tour for this guy. we keep saying it like a broken record, he does not have a weakness in his game, and probably the strongest part is his mind. The way he goes about his business is exceptional for someone who's just 24 years old.
And speaking of his mind, when he talked about the Ryder Cup earlier this week, he said to be under that kind of pressure, I feel like that's probably the most exposed you can be. That type of tension and pressure representing your continent, the players and the captains, can sometimes be overwhelming. It wasn't to him, and it certainly isn't this week. Here's Hughes for birdie at 18.
Yeah, as we watch this putt from Mackenzie Hughes to try to cap off a great week. I'll add to that with Ludvig. He was playing with Victor Hovland for both of his matches in the morning at the Ryder Cup. And I asked Victor, I said, man, what did you see out of Ludvig? Was he nervous? He's like, man, this guy is the Iceman. He does not get nervous.
I like that nickname, Iceman.
The Iceman?
Yeah.
It reminds you a little bit of Henrik Stenson, one of the great Swedes to have won on the PGA Tour. Ludvig is about to become the 11th Swedish-born player to win on the PGA Tour. Henrik Stenson, sometimes people called him Iceman when he was competing on the world's grandest stage. He leads the way of all those Swedes with 6 victories. Jesper Parnevik and Carl Pedersen right there with 5.
Yeah, Jonas Blix with 3. Vincent Norman getting his first win this year on the PGA Tour. The future of Swedish golf is looking very good, both on the men's and women's side.
One last birdie putt for Åberg. And of course it falls. Another goal reached for the 24-year-old Swedish sensation. Savor the moment, Ludvig. You are now a PGA Tour winner.
How good is 61-61 on the weekend? 122. Are you kidding me?
Incredible.
Shout out to Mackenzie Hughes for making it a fight all day long. This thing could have been a runaway had Mackenzie not played so beautifully.
What a performance.
Just to jump into a tie for third with Tyler Duncan.
Okay. How about that finish for Cole? Good for him. You might be looking at 1-2, 2-1 right there for the Arnold Palmer Award for PGA Tour Rookie of the Year.
I think I have to give it to Ludvig Åberg after that performance today. The win trumps. He only played 11 events. He's moved into the projected 53.
Nice work, nice work.
Winning is what matters most. He got the job done this week, and look at how he closed it out. We were wondering if he was going to play defensive golf coming down the stretch, trying to hang on to that lead. Aggressive the whole way, and it paid off.
Birdie on 15, birdie on 17, 18, and had short putts at it on 14 and 16. Just dominating.
Great reaction. Get the feeling Todd Lewis is going to be doing this often the next few years. Let's go down to Todd right now.
Ludvig, what a show you put on. 61-61 on the weekend. You slept on the lead Friday night. You slept on the lead last night. How would you describe the comfort you had today and yesterday?
You know, I'm still nervous. You know, I still wake up this morning, and you know, I see it as a privilege to be in that position, and that's kind of the way that I view this whole tournament. And, you know, luckily I had some putts going in today, the one which, you know, obviously is a nice bonus, but super happy. It's kind of beyond my dreams, yeah.
You make your pro start in June. Since then, you have won on the DP World Tour. You've been a part of a victorious European Ryder Cup team, and now you have won on the PGA Tour. How have you been able to do so well so quickly?
I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's really cool. Obviously, this is, like I said, beyond my dreams. And to first off play on the PGA Tour. I mean, I have a lot of people to thank for that, and then obviously playing some nice golf as well has been so much fun, and it's been 6 months that I'll never forget. But yeah, it was really cool.
How impactful is it to be a PGA Tour winner?
This is what you dream of as a kid. I mean, you know, this is the sport that I love and the sport that I'm going to love for a very long time. And, you know, watching these events from a very young age is what I've done. So to see myself win is, it's really cool.
Yeah, I don't know what you were thinking about in June when you turned pro, but since you've had all these great accomplishments, what has this done for your belief moving forward in your career?
I mean, I think, you know, it validates my skill set and, you know, my capabilities. You know, if you told me this a couple of months ago, I would not have believed you. So to kind of be in this position, I need to pinch myself in the arm, but it's really awesome. And I'm so happy for me, my team, and all the people that I have close to me.
It is not easy to win on the PGA Tour. Congratulations. We'll see you in Maui in the first 2 signature events of 2024.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Steve? Thank you.
Todd, thank you very much. And there is the next 10, and Ludvig is right there. Look at him climb 43 spots. If you're inside this graphic right there, you are a happy man.
Yeah, he's just climbing up the world ranking ladder. Sorry for Eric Cole. His first rookie year has been deserving of that Arnold Palmer Award, but Ludvig Åberg, he's gonna win it with that performance today.
Luke List in the 60 spot. He will be at Riviera and Pebble Beach. There's Davis Love III, the godfather of the Golden Isles. And there's Peter Hansen, his mentor. Just a wonderful moment for those two. Ludvig Åberg is a winner on the PGA Tour for the very first time, and he did it in dramatic fashion by 4 shots. Coming up next year on Golf Channel is Golf Central. Join us Thursday, November 30th for Tiger Woods' first tournament since the Masters, the Hero World Challenge from Albany, the Bahamas. It has been a lot of fun. We hope you enjoyed it as well. For all of the hard-working women and men on our Golf Channel crew, I'm Steve Sands saying so long for now. From the Golden Isles, congratulations to Ludvig Åberg.